Yeah, I think where we sit currently is in a very good position. Like we've achieved our goal. Players go back and have a good break. They've all started their pre-season now, so they're really focused on their clubs and getting their bodies right and trying to get into their team. So obviously they're working extremely hard, and then it's about each camp trying to learn something new, trying to see what areas of our game we can improve, and that's also from the coaches and everyone off the field. What can we add that adds value, that has a purpose, and not just add for the sake of it, but try and have good purpose in everything that we do, and try and see us grow and use these games as an experience, different conditions, different opponents. We want to get the results, so we don't want to stop wanting to win, and then review it and see, okay, well, what can we learn? How do we use this experience for the World Cup? With each camp, I felt that kept growing. Even in November, we had to stay mentally resolute when we went 2-1 down against Bahrain, where you can not quickly, but you can fall apart in your approach that, we're down 2-1, it's Bahrain, we shouldn't be losing. You just go all over the place, and usually you lose those games. So the belief was there. They were composed, and we got a point in difficult circumstances, and then comes to the March window where we had two wonderful results, home and away, and I felt that really built the confidence and the mentality that regardless of who we're up against, and it even showed in Saudi, we haven't beaten them there since 2011. You go 1-0 down in those conditions, and I believe what we achieved in Japan probably helped us to stay composed and come back and actually win the game. For everyone involved, I think we all embraced the challenge from October that we had, which was we knew it was a large challenge, a difficult one, and in the end we came through really well. And there are always ups and downs, and we have to get through some difficult moments. The facts are we haven't beaten Japan in a very long time. We got close in October, but I don't feel that this type of match back in October, I'm not sure that we would have won. And I think it shows how much we grew as a group. Anyone that came in, I thought mentally and physically was ready. And I think it showed in the end. We were really tough and strong in that game. We knew what was on the line. And it was a wonderful victory. We know where the players are at when they come in, and what we are looking to build is that the players can add more moments for what we know they can do. So we see them do things at club football. Obviously international football is another level. And how do we increase those moments? Is that personnel? Is that them having more game time under pressure at their clubs? Is there us tweaking something when they come in for a few days? So, no, I think what we expected. I think I've mentioned that, when I think of Riley McGree and Connor Metcalf, if you just judge them physically, they shouldn't have been in the June camps. They weren't ready physically for international football, but the 2 weeks in Abu Dhabi, the camp that the FA allowed us to have, made all the difference. They both had crucial moments in games that won us those matches. So we need those guys to do that more often, and hopefully have a lot of players that are playing regularly and well at high level, that those fleeting moments can become more regular. Just delighted for everyone in June to win those two crucial games under the pressure that we felt and what you expect at this level. And now the next phase comes along where you're planning for the World Cup, which we've begun. I think the principles of our play haven't changed. We want to keep improving them. They have to remain, but selecting certain players that have certain attributes. We had one picture back in October, November, and realised we needed to add something a little bit more dynamic maybe in the front third. And we wanted to see who was in form and who was playing well, to give us a bit of that variety of running in behind and not just being a creative, let's say, number 10 or winger. So we've learned, and we feel we've grown along the way as well, and working out better ways to get the players to understand what we want, building on those relationships with the players. From what we were doing in October, which was very good, we feel we've grown ourselves, which maybe has also helped the players grow. When I think of the people that we have, and the first part is that they're all great people, and great people. And I think we've assembled a great backroom staff. You want good people that with the right values that fit into the culture that we want, And then I believe when you have that, everyone wants to get better, including myself and the people around you. They're always coming up with ideas, and when you've got that, I think you're on track, and I feel blessed to have a wonderful staff. I think as a player, and I can only speak for myself, but I know with the teammates that I came through over a very long period, we're always honoured, always privileged, always humbled, most importantly, to get called up. And we did it with passion, we did it with joy, and that's something I always did and never took it for granted, having that opportunity. And I feel, what I have now is just an amazing honour and responsibility that I thoroughly enjoy and embrace, and I know we have the whole country behind us, and very determined and ambitious to do well and make our country proud. And when they're watching the World Cup, that they feel a sense of ownership of the team, and they feel proud to see them out in the field. So that's the next challenge for the next 12 months, and that when it comes to the big stage, as we showed against Japan and Saudi on the big stage in important games, that we once again can show how good we are.